The bank's share price has already fallen more than 15% since the beginning of April. BNP's record fine will be 4 times more than the $1.9 billion paid by HSBC 2 years ago, which broke sanctions by dealing with Mexican drug cartels. There is also a potential political fallout for French and American trade relations. France's President François Hollande has already raised his concerns with Barack Obama. But some analysts believe the fine is unfair, with the US authorities attempting to impose American rules on the rest of the world. Jagdeep Chima, Arise News.
Well, let's speak to Yannick Naud from Sturgeon Capital for more on this. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. I mean, Yannick, how much do you think BNP Paribas is going to be affected by this, particularly in view of the fact that they're expected to be banned from clearing dollar trades for a year?
Yes. I think there's 3 parts in the sanction. The first part, which is the fact that they will not be able to clear a dollar trade for 1 year, starting in 2015. The fact that it will start in 2015, I think it's very important because it will give time for BNP Paribas and its client to find a solution. And I think there's some possibility that, for example, Bank of America could provide the dollar clearing for the bank and its client. So that could be the first thing. Obviously, the second, there's 3 parts to the sanction. The fact that it's a criminal sanction could be a problem. There could be some clients refusing to trade with the bank because of those sanctions, because they plead guilty of those sanctions. And obviously, because of the amount, I mean, $8.9 billion, it's an incredible amount. They will need to find some way to finance this $8.9 billion.
Right, OK. I mean, obviously, the French government's been fighting very hard on behalf of the bank. Yes. Has Hollande got a leg to stand on, though, given that BNP Paribas almost sort of admitted guilt in this, haven't they?
No, I mean, they have been doing business with Sudan, Iran, and Cuba between 2002 and 2009, and sometime until 2011. That's the fact. The fact is, since they are doing business in the US, they have to comply to US law, especially if they want to keep their banking license. It looks like they will be able to keep their New York license, which is a positive thing. Therefore, they have to comply to US regulation, regardless of what the French government think about.
But, in other parts of the world where BNP Paribas has offices, yes, they are allowed to trade with these countries. So is it fair, then, that they have to comply by US law?
I think as long as you have a branch in US, as long as you want to make business in US, I mean, for example, BNP own, I think, a bank of a retail bank in US, you need to be able to comply to US regulation. And I think, as far as I understand, back in 2006, the management of the bank asked for some opinion, legal opinion, about were they able to do it or not. And I think legal opinion were very clear in the fact that they were not recommending the bank to do this kind of business.
Because I was going to ask, how do the banks get into this situation? We had the situation with HSBC, yes, back in 2012, their involvement in, money that was being laundered, yes, by Mexican drug cartels. I mean, do they know that this is going on? Are they turning a blind eye to it? What's going on?
No, it's very difficult. You have to keep in mind that bank has grown very, very large with a very, very high number of activities, and therefore for the management, for the top management, it's very, very difficult to make sure that they control every activity of every bank. As long as every manager ranked and paid by bonus because of the profitability of their business, there is bound to be this kind of situation.
Sure. OK, Yannick Naud, for now, thank you. We'll speak to you again a little bit later on.